Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Hakuoki Kyoto Wins. Today we are beginning on a Hachiro Iba's route. Partially by popular demand, but also because I really wanted to do the 3 new guys first, and I'm more interested in him than Soma because Soma's a bit young for me. All the guys in these games are too young for me, but the younger they are, the worse it is. Alright, well anyway, let's get through these initial decisions that we have to make to get on his route. We'll be doing a lot of skipping previous things, so please watch the playlist in the order that the videos are listed in order to keep from missing out on any scenes that would have developed along the way. Otherwise, you can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. First of all, find a way to escape. Then, once again, stay where I was. Is it going to be like all the same decisions again? Stay put. Wow, I had no idea. Quietly return to my room like a good girl. And this time I get to accompany Hijikata as his page, which I'm sure he'll love. In that case, please allow me to accompany you, Hijikata.
Hey, what the hell are you saying?
Hijikata's voice trembled irately, as if troubled by my suggestion, which made me nervous, but I thought I had a shot at convincing him. I mean, walking around town with you may help with getting leads to find my father. With the other warriors questioning my place, it may be in our best interest for me to act like your page. It could convince the others. Yeah, to be his page indeed and not just name. I recalled in this moment my introduction to Takeda, who voiced his skepticism plainly. After sharing my viewpoint, Hijikata's expression soured. Then he responded.
Listen, there's no need to believe in what Soji was describing about the city. He's just having fun and messing with... No, aren't you happy to have such an adorable little page, Hijikata?
Hijikata stared bitterly toward Okita, and again it seemed we were trapped in their bubble of silence. But eventually...
Very well, but you better make absolutely sure that you stay the hell out of my way.
Yes, I understand. I was somewhat surprised he obliged me, but I was so excited to join Hijikata and go outside. I'm so sorry. My reading is getting off to a bad start because I'm super nasally today, and I've tried everything and I just cannot get my sinuses cleared. It's been almost 5 months since I've been able to experience the world and its scenery.
Ugh. How did I end up in this predicament? I can't really go back on my word.
I don't think I remember this happening before in the other game. But I have a terrible memory, so that doesn't mean anything. Hijikata kept himself a few paces ahead of me, deliberately, and his foul mood made me nervous. His cold demeanor caused me to question whether or not I belonged here, if this was my place. Of course it isn't, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It was difficult to turn these questions to and fro in my head, but I was trying to keep up with him. Someone called out as we passed a tea shop.
Commander, there you are. I have a report for you, sir, that needs to be disclosed as soon as possible.
If this person referred to Hijikata as commander, then he must be a Shinsengumi member. Brilliant deduction. He whispered the report in Hijikata's ear. Oh, come on, you can trust me. The man's words caused Hijikata's face to turn blank, and he looked to me to speak.
I have an urgent matter to attend. I'm entrusting you to stay at this shop and ask about Kyoto.
Are you gonna leave Yamazaki with me? Huh? But then I'd be by myself. Would that be alright with you? In response, Hijikata gave me an examining glance, as if to probe all my hidden thoughts. Then he looked down at me while asking,
Did you plan on joining me just so you could run away?
When his eyes met mine, the pit of my stomach dropped, turning cold from nervousness. If I was going to run away, I would not choose to do it on your watch, Hijikata. No, of course not.
Then don't bother me with stupid questions. You are to do as you were told, then you wait. Got it?
Okay, understood. I wasn't sure what Hijikata's intentions were by leaving me behind, but it was probably smarter to do as Hijikata said, so I asked the person at the tea shop about my father. Okay, where to start? I asked customers that wandered in and out of the store, politely grabbing their attention. Unfortunately, it seemed like no one knew anything about my father's whereabouts. The tea became cold, the little leaf flakes sinking toward the bottom of the cup, and I sighed. Ah, Takeda! Fancy meeting you here, and alone.
Alright, the Shinsengumi is here to conduct a search. Everyone remain calm. Who owns this place?
Oh, actually, very bad timing. I recognized the shouting man from his familiar corps uniform as he barged into the shop. It was Takeda, the captain of the Shinsengumi's 5th Division. What could he be doing here?
Excuse me, but I'm the owner of this store. What's the meaning of your business here?
The owner's voice was trembling from being intimidated, and Takeda responded forcefully.
I shouldn't even have to answer. It's been brought to my attention that you've been allowing Imperial Ronin extremists to conduct their business within these premises. What exactly are you plotting? If you do not give me an honest answer, I will be forced to take you to headquarters, where you will be questioned. Please, don't be absurd. I would never do anything of the sort, or let such people in and out of my store. Oh, so you're calling the Shinsengumi a bunch of liars then, are you? No, I'm not saying that.
Sweat poured down the owner's face, and he shook with fear. Takeda glanced around the store with a sticky glare. I quickly ducked behind a shelf so he wouldn't notice me. I managed to avoid detection as he scanned the store. Then Takeda approached the owner again.
It is in our best interest to allow local businesses to run as smoothly as possible, as you know. So, depending on how well you cooperate, perhaps I could make all of this disappear. You're implying... I'm merely suggesting that it would be in your interest to share some of your goodwill.
Oh, so he wants protection money from the shops. Seriously, Takeda? This is something that the Shinsengumi is supposed to prevent, not actually take part in. As I peeked to get a closer view of their conversation, I could see the owner gulp. Although Takeda was not being explicit, it was deathly clear that he was soliciting a bribe from the shop owner.
There's no way I could afford that, sir. I mean, there's nothing suspicious going on here. What's that? You're refusing to help the Shinsengumi, protectors of Kyoto's safety? No, I would never do such a thing. I'm going to take you to the headquarters. You must be a Ronin sympathizer, and I'm going to take you back and make you spill your guts. No!
Oh no, I was sick to my stomach hearing him. Just when I was about to speak out, someone placed their hand on my shoulder. Yamazaki? Oh, no. Iba, already! Awesome!
Shh, don't. A girl should never get involved in such a dangerous situation. This man will not hesitate to hurt you, and it will be grave.
But I'm raring to go, look at me! This mysterious samurai whispered gently into my ear, but I became completely distracted by his perfectly sculpted facial features. But I'm not even looking at his perfectly sculpted facial features. His skin looked incredibly fair and soft, and he was almost as gorgeous as Hijikata. I guess that's a matter of opinion. I still prefer Saito and Kazuma and Sakamoto. For a second, I thought he was an actor. He was dressed in expensive, exotic-looking fabrics, leading me to believe he was famous.
Don't worry, just leave this to me.
The softness of his voice enveloped me in a great calm, and I sat back down to let him proceed. But I hoped he'd be okay. Takeda was massive, and his short temper seemed like a recipe for disaster if anyone crossed him. Yeah, he does seem pretty intimidating. I can't imagine dealing with such a violent soul.
Excuse me, may I say something? You're with the Shinsengumi, right?
Takeda turned to face this man, staring in disbelief that someone would approach him in such a manner.
So what is it to you?
The owner of the shop clearly stated he isn't allowing Imperial extremists to solicit here. So, with what charges do you intend on taking him back to your headquarters with?
What? How dare you question me like this? You're one of those Imperial extremists, aren't you?
You just want to call everybody that.
I should have known you'd turn up eventually.
The mysterious samurai smiled coolly, and he responded calmly.
So, just because I question you, I'm an extremist? I guess a fair investigation is out of the question. Well, you are preventing me from inflicting justice, which is just enough proof.
Very well then. If things are going to escalate, I wouldn't want to upset the lady here. Would you mind handling our business outside?
You sound afraid of getting your pretty face all bloodied up. Not surprising.
Takeda huffed smugly to himself and waddled. He doesn't seem like a waddling type either. Waddled out of the store to challenge the samurai. brawl in the streets. Why are there so many evil, beautiful guys in this game? Takeda's smirk remained on his face as the two met each other outside of the store. He assumed an offensive stance and then reached for his katana to threaten him. Or not.
Huh.
Ha! He's too fast for ya. As soon as Takeda moved his hand to unsheath, the samurai intercepted to cover the sword's mouth.
Let go, or else I will. Oh, don't tell me you really thought you were going to draw your sword, were you? If you were, then things between you and me are going to get serious, and I'm not sure you're ready for things to get serious.
The samurai possessed a duality. One side was a soft-spoken gentle man, the other side a warrior. Takeda sensed this duality as well because, after the samurai made his claim, he made no movement. Before we knew it, people gathered around the store, murmuring amongst themselves and echoing the general sentiment of confusion and wonder. The Mibu wolves are having a duel? Are they causing trouble again? Such murmurs caught my ear as I looked ahead. Oh, Takeda. As if our reputation wasn't bad enough.
Seems like we're drawing some attention. Do you still plan on drawing your sword?
The samurai seemed to already know the answer. Takeda began to grit his teeth angrily, and he gruffly shook off the samurai's hand.
I never forget a face, you bastard. I will make sure you live to regret this day.
His face was flushed with red, and he swiftly exited and disappeared from the store. Iba saves the day! As the tensions deflated, I exhaled in relief that things didn't come to violence. Phew, I'm glad that's over.
That could have become ugly. Let's go back inside and check on our friend.
Were you okay?
Yes, that was nothing.
I'm so glad. Why were you willing to risk your life against that man? You didn't have to stop me back there. The samurai slightly paused, and answered timidly.
You reminded me of someone from my past.
I was perplexed. Me?
Yes. You even blush like her.
He studied my face carefully, his eyes dotting up and down my small face. Is he a childhood friend that I've forgotten about or what? Because I do remember meeting him in a different route, and he seemed to kind of know me. Although I liked the attention, I still had no clue who this person was or where he was from. I'm sorry. I think you've mistaken me for someone else. I bowed lightly to him, and he looked a little taken aback. Now he looks kind of mad.
Oh, don't worry. It seems that I'm simply mistaken. My apologies. Please, let's return to the tea shop. Your tea and snacks must be ruined by now.
The samurai's kind demeanor was nearly impossible to resist, drawing me to return to the store as if I'd caught the scent of the city's sweetest bun. Or maybe a pair of buns. Sorry. I know it was terrible. Upon entering, the tea shop owner smiled and bought us freshly brewed tea.
It was you who poured our fresh tea. There's even some sweet bean jelly here.
Sitting beside our tea was a neatly arranged platter of sweet bean jelly.
Yes, thank you so much for helping me. You saved me. Oh, please. I didn't do anything to deserve such kindness. Thank you so much, though. I love sweets.
I like a man who loves sweets. I don't understand why it's considered unmanly to like sweets a lot of times.
The pleasure is all mine. Don't be shy. Have as much as you would like. Take your time.
The owner seemed to bow after every sentence, and then turned to tend to his counter.
What a generous gesture. Would you like some of my sweet bean jelly?
Oh no. I think the owner means for you to eat all of this.
If you say so. Timed it again.
Well, he didn't insist very much. He cut the sweet bean jelly into elegantly sliced halves, and he expressed delight after each bite. In my experience so far, a samurai didn't ever seem to smile often, but every time he took a bite, he grinned like a child, even smiling as if he was the happiest person alive. Oh, come on! Nagakura, Harada, and Heisuke smile plenty. And, Inoue and Shimada as well. They're all happy people. And Kondo! How can you forget him? He's always got a smile on his face. Oh, and, Soji smiles a lot too, though it's usually a rather menacing smile. It still counts. It wouldn't be too much of a stretch, maybe, to guess that he and I were close in age. As this thought came to mind, I could still hear customers murmuring, whispering amongst themselves and to each other. Did that samurai scare away the Mibu wolf? Looks like it. Maybe there are some good samurai after all, huh?
He can't be a samurai. He's too handsome. He's got some quick hands, though.
The samurai seemed to overhear their discussion, timidly retreating from his initial enthusiasm. As soon as he finished drinking his tea, so he's a little bit shy, huh? Please excuse me. It's time for me to pay my tab. He rushed to get up, but not before slipping me some last words. I'll be on my way. Please do be careful and try to avoid trouble, okay? Sorry, bud, but trouble finds me. Oh. The samurai fled the store, almost like a dream wisping around one's mind after awakening. He almost gave me no opportunity to thank him properly for earlier. I rushed after the samurai. Come back! Wait! I chased after him, yelling to catch his attention. Is something the matter? Thank you so much for earlier. You saved me. I didn't do anything to warrant the thanks. Is that what you always say? He turned away from me, stopping to gaze at the clouds swirling above us. However, it seems like the Shinsengumi's name is dragged through the dirt. If today's incident is any indication, then I can't blame people for having their reservations. Yeah, we gotta do something about that. Well, what should I say? I shall apologize about Takeda. Not that I can control him, but, just because I'm associated, I guess. I hope he doesn't think Takeda's behavior is an example of how all Shinsengumi captains act. Hijikata and Inoue are both honorable men. Each one of the captains I've come to know are, in fact, kind and good-hearted, not like Takeda. He's a bad egg. It was difficult, though, to deny the unrest felt by both the samurai and the tea-shop goers. I'm sorry. Oh, why do you keep apologizing? It's not like you're a part of that man's group, right? Well, although the samurai showed me kindness, I wasn't sure if I could trust him with the truth. In that moment, he picked up on my subtle cue, displaying a reserved silence as if he knew. You seem to have your hands full at the moment. I won't press the subject any further. Well, I think you've already pretty much got all the information you need on that. There was a pause in our conversation, and the wind whistled softly in the background. The samurai didn't break his concentration, staring intently into my face. His eyes seemed to be searching for something, perhaps a faint glimmer of a long-lost memory. He's thinking, come on, don't you remember me? I remember you. Come on, Chizuru, remember. If only he could tell me what seemed to be on the tip of his tongue, but he shut his eyes and turned. Well, I'll be on my way now. Oh, sorry for stopping you. Don't worry about it. I'm glad I got to see you, Chizuru. And I never told him my name, did I? Huh? How did he know my name? Who was this man? The samurai turned his back to me and departed. He wasn't familiar to me. Was I to him? I didn't have much time to consider what any of this meant, because Hijikata returned shortly after.
Did I make you wait for long? How was it? Did you obtain any information on Kyoto?
Hijikata? I quietly shook my head in response.
I see. Well, it's not like people around here are willing to talk easily. Don't think much of it.
I should really tell him about that altercation. As we walked back toward the headquarters, I filled Hijikata in on the earlier proceedings.
Takeda did what?
Good, thank goodness I told him. He would have found out sooner or later anyway, I think. Somehow he was able to contain a palpable rage without lashing out at me.
Don't tell anyone what you saw today. I mean no one, not even the captains to whom I know you confide. Do I make myself clear?
His voice was stern, and I quietly nodded.
This doesn't need to be said, but don't ever let your guard down, especially in front of people you do not recognize. The Shinsengumi has to protect its secrets, sometimes even from its own members. Most of all from that buffoon Takeda, who knows nothing.
Sounds like he needs to be put in his place. I understand. Once Hijikata was convinced of my understanding, he probed more questions.
You mentioned a mysterious samurai came to your aid. Please elaborate.
Oh, I forgot to ask his name.
What? How the hell am I supposed to thank him?
Oh, you'll be seeing him again soon enough. In fact, you know him. I don't know. It all happened so fast.
Well, fine. If you happen to cross paths again, be sure to ask him for his name.
He curtly muttered, then left me with his last thought.
Despite everything, I'm sorry to hear no news of your father came to light. Hopefully Saito or Shinpachi had better luck than you.
Yes, hopefully. Ah, yes. I'd forgotten that I accomplished nothing I wanted to today. We rushed back to the base. Once back at headquarters, we discovered the sightings of my father at Terada Inn was false, crushing the sliver of happiness I'd held on to. Something'll turn up sooner or later. Chapter 2, July 1864. Here we have to remain at the compound. And then we say, why me? And then I promise to give the message, so we'll have some new stuff here. This is, the Ikeda Inn incident. I understand, I'll get the message to them. You can count on me. I'm so glad you said that. I'm leaving this in your hands. Got it. When we left the compound, I'd already decided that Yamazaki deserved my utmost trust, so I didn't look back. And I believe here's that scene again where Iba shows up. But I guess it's going to be different this time since we've already met him before this. As a result of my efforts during the battle, they grew more encouraging of my involvement. The Shinsengumi allowed me to sweep the area in front of the headquarters on my own. One day I was cleaning the courtyard with a broom when I heard gentle footsteps approaching me. Excuse me, but is this the Shinsengumi headquarters? Oh, yes. The voice came from behind me, so I was caught off guard when answering. You... Didn't I meet you the other day?
Ah, hello. It's been a while since the tea shop.
I met him on the first day I was allowed to leave the Shinsengumi compound. This was the mysterious samurai that helped me while I awaited Hijikata's return at the tea shop. Why, yes, I appreciate your help the other day.
No problem. I mean, as I told you then, the pleasure was all mine. In any case, I'm glad to see that you seem to be doing well, Chizuru.
Now that I remember it, this man called me by my name when I encountered him. But I never learned his name. I remembered Hijikata scolded me for not knowing his name, so I brought up the question. I'm sorry for never asking your name despite you saving me. Is it alright if I get your name? His eyes twinkled kindly before he spoke, and I sensed a faint melancholy in his voice. Oh, he's sad that I don't remember.
I am Hachiro Iba.
Ah, Hachiro Iba. What a pretty name. I have to tell Hijikata later. So, how may I help you today, Iba?
Oh, well...
Iba kept stealing a glance toward the base. I assumed his business was with the Shinsengumi. When I first met him, Iba defended a tea shop keeper from Takeda. In this encounter, Takeda proudly declared himself as a warrior of the Shinsengumi. I slightly suspected Iba intended to visit and inform the leaders about the incident. Yeah, it's a good thing Hijikata ended up showing up first. Hijikata showed up suddenly, as if he telepathically knew I was speaking to someone. Oh, Hijikata, this man is... Before I could finish my sentence, the man ran toward Hijikata.
Oh, I knew it! Toshi! It's me, Hachiro! Long time no see! You're... Wait, Hachiro? What the hell are you doing here?
When Hijikata realized who it was, his eyes grew wide. Well, I guess they're forcing me to reread this whole scene even though most of these lines are still the same.
Are you surprised? I visited Kyoto with shogunate orders. Forget about me. Man, so it really was you connected to the Shinsengumi. I couldn't believe it until I made sure for myself. Congratulations, you really did become a samurai. Oh, come on, don't mock me. I mean, we're treated no better than any ronin. Yes, but your dream of becoming a samurai came true. Hey, I said don't mock me.
I don't think you sounded mocking. Oh, come now. The Shinsengumi are famous in Edo. You are so feared that even crying children go hush. I heard about your victory at the Ikeda Inn. It would seem you lot are flourishing.
Huh. Well, we're working on it.
What kind of relationship do you have exactly for Hijikata to blush like that for you, Iba? Do I have to be jealous? How very unlike himself. Hijikata seemed to be flustered, and his cheeks were rosy. The rapport suggests they've known each other for some time. Were they good friends? I still needed to tell Hijikata that Iba was the samurai who came to my aid at the tea shop. Once I verified their conversation had come to a halt, I mustered the courage to speak to Hijikata. Hijikata? This was the young gentleman who helped me from Takeda the other day at the tea house. Hijikata furrowed his eyebrows.
Oh, I see. Sorry for her causing trouble. Well, rather, I guess you saw something you shouldn't have seen.
I just happened to pass by. Besides, I was there for personal reasons, so I didn't report it to anyone.
Oh, well, thanks for that. Hey, we don't need to have this conversation out in the sun. Why don't you come inside?
Can I make tea for you? Hijikata looked uncomfortable offering anyone any sort of kindness, but he looked at Iba warmly. I took tea to the two in the hall. I'll bring it to you whether you want it or not. Hijikata told me to remain there, so I decided to listen in.
So, you claimed you came to Kyoto with shogunate orders. What are you here for?
I'm currently in Okuzume. An Okuzume? I listened intently, but subtly, since I was unfamiliar with the contents of their conversation.
He's a Hatamoto of the shogunate. He is entrusted with the protection of the shogun and his guests and friends who surround him.
Oh, wow! I'm honored to meet such a man.
Oh, please, I'm nothing special. This was a job acquired from connections from my father.
As I said the first time I read this, nepotism. But, what would bring a man of his stature here, Hijikata? This meant Iba was someone who worked directly with the shogun. What an honor! It made no sense why he would interact with the Shinsengumi, or why he had business with us.
Oh, I see what you're thinking. You're thinking, why would he know a guy like me, huh?
I did my best to nod without offending him.
You see, not only is this gentleman a Hatamoto, but he's heir to the Shingyoto Ryu Iba Dojo, which is one of the top dojos in Edo. The Iba Dojo and my dojo socialized often, so this is how we came to know each other.
Yes, that's right.
When I got word that I would be coming to Kyoto, I was excited because I knew I would see Toshi.
Iba's eyes shined with adoration, but Hijikata scoffed and rolled his eyes.
Whatever. Just keep in mind, Kyoto isn't exactly a vacation destination.
Yes, I'll keep that in mind. However, despite it being so dangerous, it seems even a woman can be with the Shinsengumi. Iba glanced at me when he asked this question, before looking to Hijikata. I gasped and cupped my hands over my mouth, and Hijikata's eyes darted toward me sternly. It's not my fault he called me Chizuru and I never even told him that. It would seem Iba picked up on the fact that I was female, judging by their interaction.
Oh, was that supposed to be a secret?
I didn't want to confirm any answers, so I stared toward the mat underneath without speaking.
It wasn't difficult to tell she's a girl the moment you set your eyes on her. It's not her fault. I know. I mean, only a fool couldn't figure it out.
Well, there's an awful lot of fools, apparently. Even amongst the Shinsengumi. Hijikata looked resigned toward Iba and sighed.
Well, her reasons for being here are somewhat complicated, so we have her posed as a man for now. Only a portion of the men of the Shinsengumi know about her, so it would be preferred if you were to keep it under wraps in front of our men.
Understood. Would it be too much to ask about her reasons?
Her father is missing, so we're allowing her to cooperate with our investigation.
Her father's missing? You're talking about Kodo Yukimura? How did he know everything? When he mentioned my father's name, the hairs on my neck stood up. How do you know my father's name? I guess Hijikata was also shocked by his knowledge, and he looked dubiously toward Iba.
Wait a minute. How do you know her father is Kodo?
Well, I visited the Yukimura clinic a long time ago.
Ah. Chizuru, do you not remember me?
No, I'm sorry, I don't. Apparently, I know I hurt your feelings. It was very clear, but I don't. Iba asked timidly, and it finally clicked for me. If Iba had visited my father's clinic, then that explains why he would have known my name and my father. Sorry for not remembering. I'm really sorry for not remembering you. Iba's expression seemed a little disappointed by my response. Oh, I feel so bad. Alright, but anyway, we gotta stop there because I've gone on a little too long. I probably should have stopped before we came in here and sat down to tea. But yeah, we'll continue this conversation with Iba in the next episode. I like that he's so fast and he's more manly than he looks. I'm getting some good impressions with him already. So hope to see you there for his next video, or maybe in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye everybody.